What should I do here first? I'll try. How about Snowbird? Okay. This is a song Jim Lauderdale sang it with me as a duet on the record. It was really fun to do. And it's a song about basically fear of commitment. Snowbird, stay by my window, just you don't come in. Wings I've not, I'm bound to the ground. So alone fear I'll walk through this life I've found. Snowbird, if I could fly, I'd be your everything. Snowbird, if I could fly, I'd be your everything. Tremble and shake from the love we made, but I'm never gonna be a heart you can break. Snowbird, ever in my heart, but never under my skin. Snowbird, ever in my heart, but never under my skin. I won't let you in, and it makes me cry. For I'd let you in, I'd have to say goodbye. Snowbird, outside my window, you're a beautiful sight. Snowbird, outside my window, you're a beautiful sight. Wings I've not, I'm bound to the ground. So alone fear I'll walk through this life I've found. Snowbird, if I could fly, I'd be your everything. Snowbird, if I could fly, I'd be your everything. Tremble and shake from the love we made, but I'm never gonna be a heart you can break. Snowbird, ever in my heart, won't let you under my skin. Snowbird, ever in my heart, but never under my skin. I won't let you in, and it makes me cry. For I'd let you in, I'd have to say goodbye. Snowbird, outside my window, you're a beautiful sight. Snowbird, outside my window, you're a beautiful sight. Snowbird, outside my window till the love runs cold. Snowbird, fly away from my window, let a man grow old. Snowbird, fly away from my window, let the truth be told.
Snowbird live from Tara Nevins in the Aer Studio, brand new off of Wood and Stone. You know, Tara, this whole new CD is, well, with Dawn of the Buffalo, it's very, there's a lot of political and social commentary.
Mm-hmm.
But on Wood and Stone, it's about the heart and about love.
That's right, yeah. You're right about that.
And,
yes, you're right.
And so it's really a different direction in the sense of what I guess from what I even expected that might happen when the solo CD came out. And I knew you had your roots in kind of old time music in a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
But that all this personal stuff, was it therapy for you? Did you find it that it was something that gave you a lot of release, or?
Yes, I guess, well, I never consciously really thought about it, but yeah, I mean, over the years, a lot of Dawn of the Buffalo's material has been like socially conscious and, you know, sort of somewhat message laden, you know, not overly heavy, but yeah, you're right. But then here lately, Jeb and I are both writing sort of a little bit more personal stuff, but for me personally, I was married for a long time, and my marriage split up. I never thought it would, you know, and that was a huge life shift, and that was 6 years ago, and it's been sort of a, you know, a journey since of a lot of self-discovery and just had a few other relationships and just learned a lot about things I never really had to think about too much, and it was actually really fun to write these songs because they're not really downers or, you know, whining or complaining or, you know, griping or vindictive. Yeah, more discovery, and also about family and about, you know, it ends with "A Beauty of Days Gone By" Van Morrison, which is very reflective, you know, about positive things, and so yeah, I guess kind of a introspective kind of thing.
How did Larry Campbell get involved with this, and how did the whole connection to Levon Helm and his studio? And because it's pretty cool, you made it all up at Levon's studio.
I know, pretty awesome, really. Well, I was considering doing it in Nashville, and was talking, kind of shooting some ideas around with Jim Lauderdale at the time, and he right away just said, Larry Campbell. You know, he's like, Larry Campbell's your guy, you know. And I didn't know Larry, didn't know him personally at all, and Jim so sweetly made the call for me. And he called Larry and told Larry about the project, and then I sent Larry the music, and it was right up his alley. The idea of taking songs that were, some of them are kind of traditionally sounding, even though I wrote them, and some of them are a little more modern, but making it all cohesive, making the traditional a little more modern sounding and the modern ones a little more traditional sounding. They kind of met in the middle, I think. And that was something that Larry Campbell, he has a great knowledge of traditional music, and he loves traditional music. And then he toured with Bob Dylan for years, and he's played a lot of contemporary electric music.
Didn't he even play like electric guitar for folks like the other ones or in the Grateful Dead?
Well,
thing?
he plays with Phil Lesh.
Yeah, and Phil and Friends, I think, is where
he's played with so many people. He's played with Sheryl Crow. Even he's played so many different styles of music, and
lots of instruments.
Oh, he is just amazing. I mean, I guess his main instruments would be electric guitar, pedal steel, fiddle. But he also plays banjo, mandolin, sitar, harmonium.
It's so nice to hear the pedal steel on a couple of the songs on this.
It's beautiful.
It's got a vibe that I never heard through Dawn of the Buffalo or even your other stuff, like the Heartbeats.
Right. The Heartbeats played on this.
Yeah.
Too,
Which tunes did the Heartbeats play on?
Well,
this?
they played the instrumental Nothing Really, of just a fiddle tune. They came and played. And then Rose Sinclair played banjo on a few tracks. And then Stars Fell in Alabama, actually, three of us from the Heartbeats played on that. June Drucker, the bass player, she was not on that. But so yeah, they're whittled in there.
So that was your first real band, no?
That was my first real love of a band. Yeah, the Heartbeats, old time, whatever you want to call it.
When y'all got together again, was there some? I don't know. The Buffalo Springfield's playing again because they got together for one gig and now they're touring.
Yeah, no, we just actually I just got to play the Midnight Ramble, Levon's Midnight Ramble, just 2 weeks ago, and the Heartbeats came and played with me there with Larry and everyone, and so no, we've decided that this is too much fun, too easy, too good to just never do it anymore. So we're gonna be playing a little bit. So that's pretty cool, discovery or revelation or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So you ended up at Levon. Is it Levon Helms Studio? What do they call it?
It's Levon Helms Studio, and it's actually his home. His, you walk through a door and you're in his den. It's his, land and his house, and it's a beautiful, beautiful studio. And they're getting busier and busier recording there, and they just make very organic sounds come out of there. They're all about things sounding real, not overly processed, just really honest. They're just great at that. Justin Gwip, the engineer, is fantastic, and Levon Helm Band itself is fabulous. And every Saturday night, they put on a concert in the studio, and that's called the Midnight Ramble. And there's always a special guest, an opening act, and they'll have everyone from Elvis Costello to Lucinda Williams to Steve Earle to, and then I was so fortunate because I recorded there and made the record that they had me as the opening act 2 weeks ago. And if you ever get a chance to go to a Midnight Ramble, I really recommend it. You're sitting there, it's so intimate. You're in the studio, you're like 3 feet from Levon, and he's the most amazing musician
sound like
to
very
watch.
Many people get to go.
Well, about 200 fit
in
there. Yeah.
In his house.
In the studio, which is, and everyone's really respectful, and it's super fun. It's super fun. The band is fantastic, and it doesn't start at midnight. It ends around midnight. And it's in Woodstock, New York.
Not as young as he used to be.
Yeah, but when he sings, oh my God.
Oh, I know.
It's just outrageous.
And he has that little crook that he does with his hand on the drums, the way he lifts that elbow.
Yeah.
Watching him play, I think, God, he's got to have like this thing happening on his shoulder, a rotator cuff thing after doing this all those years.
He's so tough. I mean, he wears his black gloves, and he's just, when he plays, and probably because his hands sweat, I imagine, but every stroke of the drums, every cell of his body and soul he puts into it, It's amazing to watch and to listen to. But
so do they record all of the Midnight Rambles? Is it some project that they have ongoing to get the music out, or is it just something that they do because they all want to get together? And
they archive them. Do archive them, and I think they're working on a kind of a documentary about it. So I would not be surprised if,
Yeah, it's a pretty special thing.
It is. It's very special, and I actually was fortunate enough. And at the very end, they end every night singing "The Weight." You know the song "The Weight," right?
Mm-hmm.
Take a load off, Annie, and then they always have the guests come up. So they had the Heartbeats come up, and we got to sing "The Weight" with Levon, and they made me sing the first verse with Levon. I mean, it was like a life
pressure.
experience.
What if you forget the words?
Well, I'll tell you a little secret. I practiced before I got there. I was not about to not remember the words to that song.
Do they carry? I just for some details. Do they carry lyric sheets around with them when they do all this jam
Yes, that's what I was
stuff?
going
So
to
they all got
say.
stuff on the floor.
Oh, they have
now?
music stands up. It's all very friendly and easy, and yeah. It's
Something they wouldn't do on stage necessarily. It makes them look more like the big band. But yeah, I always feel like if they're doing that in a show, that they're cheating. I was watching some of the, what was it? I went and saw The Dead played here in Charlottesville at JPJ, and they had teleprompters.
well,
It's like onto this whole electronic thing,
Yeah.
Plus their eyes aren't,
There's a lot to
can't
remember,
read
though.
the little stuff.
Well, I tell you, I saw Elvis Costello in concert recently, and they all had music. There were a few music stands up there. People do it. I don't know. I never. Well, I did it once when I went on tour with Bill Kreutzmann. I actually did have.
That's right. You played with Bill Kreutzmann.
Yeah,
for a while.
last couple of summers ago, and I did have a music stand kind of hidden, kind of behind my amp, just so I could peek every now and then, because that was pretty nerve-wracking, But so yeah, there are no rules. You can play good music. It doesn't matter how you get there. That's how I feel.
Well, I'm sorry that you had a sore leg, because after reading about your childhood, which I'd never really dug into your childhood as much, and maybe you never really threw it out there until you had kind of
Well, who does?
the new project. But I wanted to hear you sing. Wondered if you could still sing "These Boots Were Made for Walking."
Blackmail. No, I don't think I can remember it. I might still have my go-go boots, though. I don't know. I'm not
Or
sure.
"Bang Bang, She Shot Me Down." I guess that was Sonny and Cher.
Yeah, I
wasn't it?
didn't know that one. They were popular, but I didn't
It
know
was
that.
kind of that same era.
Yeah.
Well, what song do you want to play for us next?
Let's see. Maybe I'll play What Money Cannot Buy.
Is that a custom-made guitar? I see.
It's
quite an
a
inlay up there.
Larrivee. It's a very sweet little guitar, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very pretty.
And too bad you can't see it out there in Radio Land. But it has purfling all around the outside. And Jeb actually found this in Nashville, and it was either a pawn shop or an antique shop. I can't remember where he found it, but it was a good find.
Yeah.
It's a good size for me, too. It's not too big.
Uh-huh.
So, and What Money Cannot Buy? This one's about staying in a relationship longer than you know you should, which I think some of us have done before.
I've been there.
Yeah.
In fact, I think that there's never been a time that I felt so lonely as when I was in a relationship that I didn't know how to get out of.
That's horrible, isn't it?
And even when you're alone or not in a relationship, but that loneliness you feel when you don't know how to end it.
Yeah.
And that becomes a very lonely thing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So much loneliness.
It's good for
Anyway.
music.
Good for music. Yeah. Heartache is really good for music. It's one of the better muses, I guess, right?